To the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the Carolina Panthers. Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Corral to throw, 1st and 10. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Being chased out left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Corral. Open man is Anderson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. But defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed they went right into the game plan, attack them early, see if they're going to play any better. And if not, you keep the pressure.
Touchdown! Tommy Tremble, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a first and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Swift. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On first and 10, it's Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop it for an 8-yard loss.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Corral. There's Trimble, the tight end. He's brought down to the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive. He comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Touchdown, Panthers. DJ Moore, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Gonzalez to add the PAT. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
This is Swift on the counter. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. Off play action. Here's Goff. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. On the move past the 40. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 down at the 31. Play action. It's Goff. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
On second down, Swift. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front, so when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room. That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Off play action. Here's Corral. Buying time, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Lee McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop him.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
After the sack on first down, Corral. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Third and long, Corral. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
But give them credit for a good read right there, because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Goff, a handoff here to Swift. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Goff's throw complete there to St. Brown. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And this throw will be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. He's at the 50, 30, 10. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Yeah, and how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense, and the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
You know, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw into the hands of Reynolds here. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
We're good. We're good. Rick Flair.
So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A three-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no three-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll kick.
And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense.
Touchdown! DJ Moore with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game is
Swift is hit, and he coughs it up. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
you remember in season when we go to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Now it's the backup Mayfield. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Drop for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Third and long for Mayfield. Touchdown, Panthers. Robbie Anderson, 33 yards. And the Panthers are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Matt Ioannidis make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the Ioannidis guy does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. Third and long coming up. From the gun, here's Swift. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. A surprising move to go for, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Romeo Okwara in on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a third down at 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On third down, Mayfield. And he fires one, but incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Gonzalez's kick is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Taken at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And this will wind up a Lions first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Once again, it's Swift. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control.
And it'll be intercepted. And the Panthers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Taken down on the play by Aiden Hutchinson.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now,
and the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Levi Onwuzurike coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. Following the sack, Mayfield and the Panthers staring at a 3rd and long here. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered, yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
Montgomery is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But
taking it right down Broadway. He's at the 50. The 30. 10. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 90 yards. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. Goff now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On second and goal, Goff. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Extra point by Seibert, up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Here's Johnny Hekker now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, here comes Swift. For the winning side, Charles, all that was missing was a shutout. Just giving up the 7 points, that's it, but really an incredible